Today on Learn Me Something
Jack and Jumper
versus
World Building. Caleb, today I went on a little road trip.
Okay. To whom?
I came straight from the road trip here. To whom?
To whom?
To right past
To whom was the destination?
Missoula.
Oh.
Past Missoula, so it was about 2.5 hours away.
Okay.
And I was told there was a hot spring there, like a natural hot spring.
Did you find it?
We got there,
Uh-huh.
and this little kid's walking back, and he's like, "It's cold." I'm like, "Okay." So we get there. It's just like cold water.
See, that was your purpose for going out there?
Yep.
Oh.
We're going to go do some go-karts too, but that was closed. So we went. I mean, it was fun. Okay, let me tell you about it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cold.
Uh-huh.
Smelled a little minerally.
Yep,
Which you're
naturally.
not surprised. So it's more of just a spring, not a hot spring. And it's right next to the highway.
And it's cold.
It's not too bad, but I had goosebumps.
Oh, that sounds
It's
like that sounded like it was too bad.
It's like a typical Montana body of water where you get in and you're like, okay, it's fine. It's fine.
Wait, I think I'm okay.
Yeah. But there's this cool little cave.
Oh,
Legend had it.
legend.
I went with my friend Luke and last week's special guest Abby.
Uh-huh.
My brother Jonathan.
Nice.
And legend has it there's this underwater cave that you can only get to if you swim underwater.
Oh, that's
and then you pop back
very
up
cool.
and there's a little pocket of air.
Uh-huh.
And so we get there. We're like, I think this is it. There's a little rope sticking out from under the water.
Uh-huh.
You pull yourself along the rope.
Oh, that
and you can pop up. It's only like a couple feet.
Uh-huh.
And there are some other people doing it.
Still
so
very spooky, though.
I went and did it. So cool.
Was it amazing?
Yeah.
Was it everything you wanted?
It was very small. It was probably like 3 feet by 6 feet when you get in there.
Enough for a party of 4?
Oh, totally. Easily. Easily. And then there's a little ladder that somebody put.
Uh-huh.
There's a hole in the ceiling and like a 30-foot long tunnel that you can explore. Stalagmites and stuff.
I love a good stalagmite.
But you can only get there if you swim under the water through the rocks.
Okay, actually,
It's
that's
pretty
pretty
cool.
cool.
So it kind of made the 2.5 hours. Well, I guess 5 hours worth it.
It made up. It's pretty cold.
Yeah. So that's what I did today.
Good. I went to my family's and ate chicken enchiladas.
Chicken
So,
enchiladas.
Yeah, good luck topping that.
Yeah.
I need to do more cool things because you're consistently showing up with exciting ventures.
Okay, I've got something cool. We'll do sometime soon. Very soon.
Okay. What is it?
It involves exploration and crawling.
2 of my top 2 things.
The best activities one could partake in.
Okay,
Exploration and
Josiah.
crawling.
You got punished recently because of your
Yeah.
girlfriend's awesomeness.
Yeah, so if you haven't listened to this podcast before, it's a competitive teaching podcast where we each teach each other a topic, and then the audience votes on who wins and who loses.
Yep.
I lost the last 2, actually.
Woo, boy.
And,
Make that 3 after this episode.
Okay. Don't even start with me. I'm not losing again. The last punishment, we had some issues getting being able to do on
Schedule-wise.
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we did that one as well. And so I'll start with that. That was you had to play Five Nights at Freddy's. So we made it so that I had to beat the second day.
Uh-huh.
So if you don't know what it is, also it's in VR, which kind of ups the
Yeah,
ante.
it's spooky.
It's pretty scary.
I partook in episode 1. Not episode 1, night 1.
Yeah.
I played it, and I watched you play a couple times, and it's pretty freaky.
Yeah. And I was so scared. But I did it, figured it out. I think I lost twice maybe.
Yeah.
So I ended up playing it 4 nights. Yeah, and if you haven't played it, you're standing in this like creepy almost abandoned Chuck E. Cheese type thing.
Yeah.
And the animatronic animals are coming to get you. And they're like 10 feet tall.
And if you don't close the doors in time,
Yeah.
it's basically you have to watch cameras and turn lights on and off and close and open doors.
Just flickering lights and creepy robot monster.
But you've got limited power. And the more you have like the doors closed, the more power it takes.
Yeah, so there's quite a bit of strategy,
Yep,
or at
you've
least,
got-
you need to know what you're doing. But I got it figured out. By the end, it was not as scary. I had gotten it like taken care of.
Yeah.
I knew what I was doing.
And you had an audience, which was fun.
I did. Yeah, there's probably like 10 people watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I took a video of it. Once this episode drops, well, if you're listening, it's dropped. We'll put it on our social media.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can watch that.
So you can go right now.
I don't know what I did, what I said, so I hope it's okay.
I do believe there's some squealing.
Yeah, it's not surprising. That's okay. But I actually, after it was done, I was like, that feels super good to have done that.
You accomplished something?
Yeah.
Good.
And this is going to sound like I'm just going to turn from stupid to like serious just real quick.
Real fast.
Yeah, I've kind of like been thinking about fear in my life and like what a role that's played in my life.
Yeah.
It's kind of a lot.
Uh-huh.
And even something as small and stupid as that, I was like, I did that. It's over. Like, I would do it again, no problem. And it was just like a nice little step up.
A little boost.
Yeah.
A little you can do this
little,
action.
Little encouragement. I did something that was scary and worked out okay.
My next goal, I was thinking about this the other day. My next goal for us as a duo is to go bungee jumping. Because I remember you said that's like the one thing you would not do.
Let's do it.
Because we talked about this a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
We were going to go skydiving, and we did that. And on
Yeah.
that trip to skydive, you were like, I could
I have no
skydive, but I
interest.
will never bungee jump. And ever since then, I'm like, yeah, we're going to go bungee
You're gonna
jumping.
make me bungee jump. I actually was talking to Abby about that, and I was like, I think I would say I wouldn't, but if enough people peer pressured me, I would. I'm very easily peer pressured. I wasn't gonna go in the little cave at the spring today.
Oh, but then you got
I got peer pressured and I did it.
It was great. Didn't
So
even die.
if you want me to do something, just peer pressure me.
Perfect.
That's the key. That's my cheat code.
Okay, we'll get a crew. We'll hit the bungee. It'll be great.
Okay.
Actually, logistically, I'm kind of freaked out by that too. I don't like the idea of physics throwing me around the planet up
Yeah.
and down.
Yeah, in a way that is not normal. That people don't normally do. It's
Yeah,
like a plane.
skydiving is natural. You jump out, you go to the ground.
Yeah.
Bungee jumping is unnatural.
And you have to be in control of when you jump and like how you're positioned and everything.
You're not strapped to a man who's like, we're jumping right
No,
now.
Maybe there's a type of bungee jumping like that where you're strapped to a man. I don't know.
What's it called when you skydive with someone?
Tandem.
Yeah,
Tandem bungee jumping?
Tandem bungee jumping.
That's probably a thing.
Would
Maybe
you do
could
that with me?
Maybe just get just a group of people, just like 10 people squished together and just throw them off a bridge.
I'd do that.
Can you imagine the heads knocking together?
Oh.
Everybody's heads are cracked.
Okay, yeah, hindsight. No, wait, foresight, because we've not done it yet.
Okay.
We should not do that.
Okay,
That seems like a bad idea.
maybe. We'll keep it on the table.
Okay, yeah, we'll think about it. We'll put it in the goof bowl, see what happens.
Go bungee jumping. Tandem bungee jumping.
Speaking of the goof bowl, you lost last episode too. Tell us about that punishment. Oh, and side note, just want to rub it in a little more.
Okay.
You lost because your girlfriend Abby was on my team and
Yeah.
shredded you.
She destroyed me.
In the voting, you got
It's the most
slaughtered.
votes we've ever got, and she beat me by, she got over 5 times as many votes as I did.
Yeah.
I was
It
surprised I got any, honestly.
I was
But
very
I was
happy.
thankful for those 3 people, whoever they are. Thank you.
I gave her a really solid high five yesterday as a
good.
thanks. But you had to plug your nose for 24 hours.
Yeah, that was harder than I thought it would be. The worst part was I just shoved some cotton balls up there. The worst part was sleeping. I slept so horribly that
Really?
night.
So when did you do this?
Thursday night, I believe.
Okay, so recently.
Thursday afternoon to Friday afternoon. And yeah, the worst part was at night. I slept so horribly.
Uh-huh.
There's one part, like I would wake up and like kind of experience this like having to yeah, I would wake up from like, I think that's like what sleep apnea is, or just like a sleep apnea event where just not getting enough oxygen, so I just wake up with a big breath.
Holy cow.
And
This is like the most dangerous one we've done.
I woke, it was like in the middle of the night, and I was like, why am I doing this? I'm gonna take these out. But I didn't.
You fought through?
I fought through, woke up, my mouth was so dry, my lips were like peeling just because like air was just in and out all night.
Oh, I almost feel bad. You said Abby felt bad because she tried to choose the easier punishment for you.
She was like, yeah, just breathe in your mouth. You do that normally.
I'm
And
very
then,
happy to have won, or to have been won for.
Yeah. You know, I actually had a dream that I was doing the punishment
Yeah.
and I only had like an hour left and I was so excited to be done. And then I woke up. I was like, I have to do a full work day and more with not breathing through my nose. Like I literally had a dream about how much I hated it.
It was that traumatic
Yeah,
for you?
I guess so. But then that first deep breath in the nose, what I assume a hard drug is like. Exactly. It felt good.
I'm happy you got through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The next day I was like, just happy that I could breathe through my nose. Kind of helps you not take for granted the small things.
That's rough.
There's a silver lining in all these punishments.
This podcast's a lot easier when you win a lot.
I bet.
You should
I
try
bet.
that out.
Yeah. Or when the punishment is easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot.
Oh, we should have asked Abby which one of us should go first, because technically she won the episode. So normally, if you've not listened before, the winner gets to choose who presents the topic first.
Yeah.
But I didn't really do a whole lot. I guess I'll just be her spokesman.
Yeah. You can choose.
Okay. You can go first.
Okay.
I think
All right.
she went first, so you can go first this time.
Okay. Oh, thank you.
Of course.
All right. So for my topic today,
Yeah.
I'm going to be talking about a dynamic duo.
Oh boy.
Their names are Jack and Jumper.
Perfect.
I guarantee you've never heard of this. Maybe you have.
Of course I have.
I feel like we're kind of in the same realm of strange topics, so maybe you stumbled across it. But Jack and Jumper were a dynamic duo who worked at a train station.
Oh.
So they were like railmen, like switchmen. So this is late 1800s in South Africa.
Perfect.
And this is kind of the story about how they met, how their friendship formed, and kind of what their working relationship was like. So let's start off with Jumper. His name's James Wilde.
Oh, why would he not? It seems like a great name to start with.
It's a pretty manly name.
Yeah.
James Wilde.
My name's James Wilde.
I'm a railroad switchman. They call me Jumper.
You think you own these tracks?
Well, you don't. I'm in charge around here. Anyway,
James Wilde.
so do you have any guesses on how he got the nickname Jumper?
He jumped from a bridge to the top of a train. He jumped over a train. He jumped off a train into water. He jumped off the railroad off of a bridge into a river.
He just jumped off a bridge. No, he was known to like jump on top of train cars.
Oh, so my
and
first
between
guess was
them.
right.
Yeah, he was a jumper.
Oh, okay. In my head, I'm picturing you're on an overpass and you're like, not yet, not yet,
No.
now.
Maybe.
But you're saying he's just on the ground and then just kind of jumps onto them.
Or he's on top of the moving trains jumping across the cars.
That's pretty cool.
Car to car.
James Wilde is a guy.
Yeah, gets his last name. His last name makes sense.
Yeah, agreed.
But one day, he tried to jump between two cars while it was moving,
Oh, no.
which doesn't seem like a good idea.
Yeah.
And it chopped both of his legs off.
Oh!
So how about that for a nickname?
Whoa!
A double amputee named Jumper.
Okay. You think... Oh, yeah. I've got nothing to add.
It's just
That's a lot.
it's just a cruel irony.
Wait, so he works around trains a lot.
Yeah.
What made him think that he could make
don't
that happen?
Just confidence.
Okay.
Big ego, maybe.
Yeah. James
People
Wilde.
calling him Jumper. He thinks he's king of the world. I can jump over anything. I can jump through anything.
You want me to jump through
Yeah.
this? Easy. My name's Jumper.
They're like, you want me to jump through this? They're like, no, I'm going to do it.
Please don't, Jumper. Oh, yeah. Okay. You're egging me on.
Yeah.
Don't make me
Quit that.
jump.
Don't do that. I will. You know I will. So anyway, he continued to work at the rail station.
Yeah.
He was a switchman.
Not
which
as actively.
I was watching a video. It takes quite a bit of pull.
Really?
Like you gotta lean into it. So
Okay.
it's pretty hard work for somebody who has peg legs. He built his own peg legs,
Pretty cool.
and he lived like a half mile from work. So he built a little cart. He would like push himself to work on the little cart on the train tracks.
Pretty cool.
Yeah. So he did that for a couple of years.
Nice.
As a double amputee.
Good for him.
Yeah. And one day everything changed. This is when Jack comes into the picture.
It wasn't when he lost his legs, for sure.
No.
This was everything.
Honestly, that's a minor. That's just this is backstory.
Okay. Oh boy.
Give or
I
take.
cannot wait. Wait, before you continue, is there a movie?
No.
Okay.
No.
should be,
I don't
I
think so.
bet.
There is a children's book.
Actually,
Yeah.
that seems worse.
Okay. So one day he was at the market looking for who knows what. Maybe
and all
some
the piggies.
more parts, maybe trying to become a cyborg, maybe
Yeah.
trying to make some springy legs.
Yep.
I don't know. Seems like an innovative guy.
Mm-hmm.
And he saw Jack driving an ox cart.
Does he know Jack?
No, doesn't know Jack.
Okay.
Goes up to him, starts talking to his boss, and he's like, Jack should come work for me.
Nice.
And so after some convincing, Jack left his wagon job and began working for Jumper.
Okay, Jack's a confident guy. So
Jumper.
James is Jumper's a quote. Yeah, you get it.
He's working for me.
So he didn't talk to this guy. He just saw him and was like, "Man, I need that guy."
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And so here's a little bit about Jack. They got along super well
Perfect.
and formed a tight bond, and they're super close. But a little bit about Jack. His boss was like, "Hey, he's not going to work unless you give him brandy. He's just going to be kind of pouty." And
That's funny that his boss would.
his boss is the one.
Yeah, you'd think he would be like, "Hey, work anyway." It seems like as a boss, you shouldn't accommodate that kind of lifestyle.
Well, there's some important things about Jack that I need to tell you.
Okay, how about I back off of the commentary?
No, it's good. This is all
while
good.
You throw in some important details, and then I'll jump back in.
Okay. Yeah, whenever. So Jack was unschooled, and he didn't speak. So that's kind of partially why.
Okay.
Not the main reason why, but partially why.
Okay.
So he was speaking with his boss. Also, Jack did not wear clothes.
A twist
A twist.
I was not expecting.
He was, if you could say, he was a mute, unschooled nudist to a degree who was a heavy drinker. And he was also a baboon.
Wait.
Jack was a baboon. He was a monkey.
You got me good.
So this is a story about Jack and Jumper, a double amputee with his monkey friend who helps him switch railways at
So good.
does it switch work.
Can I just say, I
Yeah.
thought you were just being really insensitive. When you're like, he was a baboon. I didn't realize.
He was literally a baboon.
So if anyone else was confused as I was for a moment, this is an actual a baboon
Not
animal.
a human being we're talking
Yes,
about.
we are not insulting a human.
So Jack would push Jumper to and from work. He'd like train him to just like push his little cart to the half mile every day. Jack was eventually, he had to be trained. So Jumper would just kind of stand there and hold up a number for which switch Jack had to pull, and he would just.
Seems like Jumper won big time.
Yeah, he actually bought Jack, but I didn't want to say that at the time because that would be strange.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Because he's a monkey.
Yeah, for sure. Bought him because he's a monkey.
So he learned to fetch the coal shed key. So what do you call people who run a train?
Trainists.
So a trainist would pull up and
I'm sorry, is there an actual word
yeah,
for
there
it?
is. There is.
Conductor?
Conductor would pull up. Jumper would give them the key to the coal shed so they could fill up, keep going. Eventually, Jack figured this out, and he would just do it unprompted.
Wow.
He was being intuitive, like he was
Pretty
working ahead, trying to be a good employee.
Perfect. Really a self-starter, I see.
Yeah,
Nice.
he was only working for brandy at this point, so
Yeah.
so keep that in mind.
What else do you need?
Jack, he would pull switches from the signaling, and eventually, based on the number of sounds that the train horn would make,
Yeah.
brr, brr, then he would know to pull the correct switch.
Oh.
So at this point, Jumper's kind of working himself out of a job,
Yep.
which he's like probably okay with.
Jumper's becoming irrelevant.
Yeah, but that's okay. I'm sure he's fine with that.
I'm sure.
Yeah, he's just in control of his little station. His employees doing his bidding. It's good to go, making an honest living. And he actually would kind of sulk if he didn't get alcohol.
Oh,
So he had to keep him.
you weren't kidding about that.
He had to keep him liquored up.
Okay.
Not kidding.
So this was not free labor. There was an actual cost to Jumper.
Yep.
And I'm sure food as well. Or not Jumper, Jack. I'm going to get this one of these
Yeah,
days.
they're a little close. I would assume food. Just on how I think monkeys work. I don't know a lot about monkeys.
I cannot confirm whether or not they eat.
I would assume they do.
Okay.
I can't guarantee it. Okay. So somebody fact check me on that.
Yeah.
He gained a lot of popularity from passenger cars that were coming by. They would like throw treats to him.
Oh man, what
And
a
he's
guy!
mad, and you're like, "There's Jack."
Jack
And
the
he's
baboon,
just like standing there, all proud,
little brandied up.
just like wobbling a little bit. They throw some bread at it. I don't know what. Again, maybe a treat means a toy.
You're making dangerous assumptions, Josiah, that baboons eat.
I'm sorry. They might not. They might. Some kind of treat. I'll leave it at that. And
I love this.
I just realized 2 weeks in a row I'm talking about animals running businesses.
Whoa!
Yeah.
You've created a learn me something niche for yourself.
I guess. Animals with businesses, animals with jobs. So
I cannot wait for the next episode.
wait till next episode.
What is
You're not gonna want to miss it.
Marty the elephant, who is also a salesman, or a flautist.
Marty's a flautist and a salesman. Mm-hmm. He sells flutes.
To other
Kind of works.
flautists.
Yeah, it's easy to sell flute if you can flout very well, and you're an elephant. So anyway, he one day he was snitched on. So apparently some people don't like it when a monkey's doing a guy's job.
No.
Yeah. So somebody narked on him.
Where's the freedom? I thought this was America.
Yeah, I did too.
It's
It's
South
actually not.
Africa.
It's South Africa. It's not America. I didn't think that.
I just assume if there's something bizarre happening, it's
America.
in like deep Detroit or something.
Deep Detroit in the late 1800s.
I've never been to Detroit.
I don't want to make assumptions again about Detroit,
Yeah.
so I won't go there.
Yeah, okay. Let's stay clear of Detroit.
A wide girth. Let's keep a wide girth from Detroit. Please don't talk about Detroit.
Seriously. Too soon.
Jumper convinced the people who, I'm assuming his bosses, the people over him, saying he's actually a super good employee, and just give me a chance. Like, just give him a test or something. Because if he can pass it, what's the harm?
Yeah.
What's the harm?
Don't give up on him.
It's cheaper for you. I don't have to hire somebody.
Yep.
I can still be employed.
Yep.
It's win-win-win.
Win.
And Jack gets some brandy.
Yeah. Literally everyone's happy.
And he doesn't have to drive an ox cart. He does something fun.
Yeah.
Actually, an ox cart sounds like a
I'd
little
be.
cooler of a job. I don't know.
But it seems like Jack is getting better fulfillment out of this job.
Maybe. Yeah, he's learning. He's growing.
Yep.
Yeah, widening his horizons. More experience.
Yep.
Padding his resume.
Breaking right through the baboon glass ceiling.
Exactly, all that. And so he took a test and passed flying colors.
Yeah, he
no
did.
problem. They let
Yeah,
him
he
stay on. And it's, in fact, it's reported that he never made a mistake.
What?
In, guess how many years he worked here?
12.
Oh, 9 years.
Did I over...
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to make assumptions about how long
You're always like,
baboons live.
3 days.
Yeah. A week and a half.
No, you worked there for 9
Okay, that's
years.
impressive, though. Never made one mistake.
And they actually paid him a fair wage of 20 cents a day plus half a bottle of beer a day.
Okay, I'm not on board with that part. At some point, we can let him... we can let the baboon work. We can let him grow and be awesome. But I don't know about paying him. Outside of things that he would directly want, like extra brandy or goldfish.
Maybe... I don't, again, I can't make assumptions about baboons and monkeys, how they work. Maybe they understand money. I don't know. Well, I feel like 20 cents a day way back then, that's a lot. I
Yeah.
think for a monkey.
Yeah.
I mean, 20 cents today for a monkey is a lot.
Yeah. That's yeah. I draw the line. I don't think
You don't agree?
as intelligent as monkeys are, I don't think they're at the place to where they could fully appreciate what money could do.
Do you
for
think
them.
it's unnecessary? You think it's a waste?
I think they should pay him an equal amount in a thing that he would directly appreciate, like extra food.
Food if they ate.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Or like a cool little home for him to hang out in.
Maybe that's what it was going for.
Yeah, LED lighting,
Yeah.
RGB.
It was. I'm assuming Jumper kind of just pocketed it.
Yeah. Jumper.
Maybe it's just a little
The
raise.
guy is sketchy.
Maybe it's a raise for Jumper saying, "Hey, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Nice job. Take this. You
All right,
deserve
well,
it."
Let's go with that. Let's settle on that.
Okay. So yeah, 20 cents and half a bottle of beer a day.
Yeah.
Kept
nice.
going for 9 years until he tragically died of tuberculosis,
Moment of silence, Jack.
which I didn't know monkey. I mean, it's not strange that they do, but you just hear he died of tuberculosis. It's like, oh, that's like a human thing.
Yeah, monkeys can have that, apparently.
Yeah. And today, his skull is still on display
What?
at a museum in South Africa. You can go and visit, Jack.
Please tell me it's like that's insensitive. I was gonna say, tell me it's like the handle of the lever that changes the.
Oh,
Like they just made it cool and kind of piratey.
like a tap, like beer on tap,
Yeah.
like one of those things.
Yeah.
You just grab. Yeah,
Maybe in a
there's
museum.
a brandy
would be better.
dispenser,
Yeah.
and Jack's skull is just right on the end. You just grab it, and then every time it pours, you just
You remember?
moment of silence. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, or at least the bartender, and everyone else is like, "What the heck is that?"
Wait a second.
Anyway, so that's the story of the dynamic duo Jack Jumper
Okay.
and how their unlikely friendship formed.
I know you don't usually, but can you tell me where you found this specific story?
This is the second thing I had written down.
When we were starting the podcast?
Yeah, so I have no idea where I found it.
Whoa. I mean, it's pretty. I've never heard of it. I had no idea.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? There is another monkey named Jackie, who was a World War II hero.
With the pigeon?
Also South Africa. I was like, this is the same monkey, isn't it?
Yeah, wait a second. I don't buy
I
that
think I
these are
misheard.
separate baboons.
But apparently it is. Maybe South Africans have something for similar names for all their monkey pets. I don't know. Jack and Jackie.
Jacqueline.
Maybe one was named after the other. You know what?
let's-
Jackie would have been named after Jack.
Yeah, that
because of
makes sense.
time.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
Because of time.
So I
For
think
time purposes.
if we take into account time, I think Jackie would have come second. So yeah,
That's good.
I don't know what he did, but apparently he's like very valued. Got some
Wow.
awards, such as the pigeons that I've talked about before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shire, the French pigeon who,
I remember fondly.
yeah,
That's one of my favorite stories still on the podcast. Because it's
Again,
so ridiculous.
animal with a job.
Yeah. Also from you. That's at
Also from me.
least 3. I was war elephants.
Oh, that's
So I've
true.
got one.
Okay, yeah.
Any other animal?
Pigeons. Greenland shark doesn't have a job.
No.
Flamingos don't have a job
No.
besides parenting, which
just-
is a job in itself.
It is important.
Being a
I'd
mom
say.
is a job in itself.
You talked about dogs on the excursion to Antarctica.
Yes, they all died, but they had a job. Project Acoustic Kitty. Do you remember that from the declassified files where they implanted an antenna in a cat to try and
Oh yeah.
spy on people?
Oh yeah.
Also died, but had a job.
Pigeons identifying cancer
Yes,
on X-rays,
yes.
or is it an X-ray?
Some
type- whatever the scan is
not an
called.
X-ray, some kind of scan.
Yep. There's a job.
These are all me except for war elephants.
You talk about animals with jobs a lot. That's hilarious.
Wow, this is insane. Okay.
Okay.
Well, maybe I'll. Do I lean into it? That's the question. Do I lean into it?
To embrace it or to
More
turn
animals and
from
jobs?
it?
Do I receive or reject
Let's change the name and learn me something.
animals with jobs?
Animals, yeah.
And Caleb, animals with jobs
The first competitive podcast.
plus plus some psychology and history from Caleb.
I'm doing my best to branch out. I'm
Yeah,
trying to
I
find
like
some
that too. Yeah.
some more interesting, some different types of things.
Uh-huh.
It's my goal. Anyway,
Okay. Yeah.
it was good stuff. I love a good story on
Yeah.
this show, this shindig we've got going
Nothing
on.
better than learning about a friendship, an unlikely friendship.
Exactly.
It's kind of wholesome.
It is wholesome.
You know, they worked together for 9 years.
9 years, that's a long time to
work
be doing
together.
anything.
Yeah. Imagine that's pretty sad actually. Imagine your guy
Uh-huh.
dies after 9 words. You're together all the time. 'Cause
Yeah.
he lives with him, works with him.
Yep.
That's pretty hard.
And then like was Jumper just back to the same old he was used to, wheeling himself to work, doing everything himself?
Maybe he retired. I don't know.
I hope he retired.
Yeah, that would be a good time too.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note,
It was a good wholesome story that we kind of ended on a dark.
I feel like we do that kind of often.
And then he died.
He died horribly.
Well,
anyway,
that's the problem about talking about history is
everybody
everyone.
has died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is inevitably the end of the story.
Maybe we just have to think about it differently. Like,
He lived.
no,
Okay.
no, like, and then he died, and we get to learn from him. I don't know what we're learning.
We get to remember the fun story.
We get to remember, and we get to be grateful that this story happened, so we can laugh about it.
Yep. So that we can laugh at it.
No, about it. I remember I said about.
Okay.
The situation.
Yeah. Let's go with that.
Okay. Thanks.
Hope all you listeners out there are good with that.
Yeah. A nice little bow.
Since are you done? Did you have more to that?
I don't think so.
Okay, we just wrapped this.
That's about it.
puppy up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's the end. I don't even think I'll present if that's all right.
It sounds good.
Got a good story in there. Let's call it a night.
Play us out. No, don't do that.
No.
Larry,
Larry,
stop.
back off. Get away from that button.
Don't play us out, please.
Yep. Nice. That's good. It's just every once in a
You
while.
need some time for reflection, don't
Yeah. Well, every once in a while, it's just important to have a good story that doesn't necessarily mean anything. It's just like something entertaining to listen to, and then it ends, and you're like, "Man, that was
That's
nice."
it. So you think if I try and impart some wisdom on it, it would ruin it?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Yeah, 100% would ruin it. But the thing I'm dealing with now is it's like we just went to a movie, and by doing my topic, will be taking us to another movie immediately.
Okay,
And you just need some time on the
that's fine.
story.
Here, let's do this. Mm-hmm. We stood out in the foyer in the lobby. Kind of talked about
We debriefed.
the movie, which is always important. If you don't do that at a movie with friends, always do that.
Always stop in the lobby and discuss.
If you're with either one of us, and if you just walk out,
You're dead.
we're
to
going to
us.
be standing in there talking about the movie until everything that we need to talk about has been talked about.
Yeah,
That's honestly part of the whole experience for me.
it is. It's one of my favorite parts is going out, especially if the movie was not great.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
discussion afterwards makes it great.
Yeah.
Like Fast and Furious 9 was the most recent one that we
Yeah.
saw together.
Yeah.
And we talked about that one for probably half an hour.
Yeah, watch that
after.
one. Yeah, and I had an eye patch on.
Yeah, because you were also being punished.
Yeah, so that's important.
I had an eye patch on. I still think it's awesome you chose to do that to the movies.
I know.
You picked that day specifically.
No, that was the last. Yeah, I just waited until
the last possible
anyway.
minute.
So, okay, we're walking out of the lobby.
Yep.
Just take a deep breath in through your nose. It's a nice crisp air. It's a little dark out. It's getting dark out.
It's nice to stretch your legs.
We're going to loop back around, go right back in, buy another ticket,
Okay. Yep.
go back in. You know what? Since we've got the popcorn already, the large popcorn, we're getting that refill.
We're grabbing the refill.
We're putting the butter through the straw into the popcorn to get the buttery substance at the bottom.
Yep,
All
yep,
layers.
Yep. It's perfect.
Drink if you need to. Go to the bathroom if you need to.
Definitely quick bathroom stop.
Right back into the same theater.
Uh-huh.
New movie.
For the next movie, which is mine.
Yes.
I'm trying to make sure I'm tracking on the same analogy here.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. No, we're going to talk about Jack and Jumper one more time.
Okay.
No. No.
Today I'll be telling the story.
No, your movie, different showing, same theater.
My goal, by the way, and then we'll start. This can be the previews to my movie.
Okay, I love it. That's me being all the audience members destroying their popcorn in the silence.
I think this is the longest we've just gone off on a tangent in between topics ever.
That's one of the worst things in the entire world.
Tangenting?
No. Sitting it's
everyone.
quiet in the movie theater and everyone's going,
Oh, okay. Yeah, after the first preview has ended and the silence before the second one when it's showing what the preview's rated. And it's just like...
I hate that so much.
And then there's like 3 people in the back that just don't understand the volume of their voices that are just chatting.
I'm so excited for this.
Oh, we're seeing that one for sure.
Yeah. Sometimes that's me. I'll be honest. I apologize.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Should we start my movie?
Yep, ready.
Okay.
Lights are dimming.
Yep.
Screen is getting narrower or larger.
We'll
Doesn't it get
narrow
narrower?
Yeah, we'll go cinematic.
I do like that.
Just without further ado.
This is like old timey. It's like a theater. It's like a show.
Oh, okay. One more sidetrack and then
Okay,
I'll start.
sure.
We went to a theater. The place I went to college, the theater we went to, a guy, every movie, you would sit down and they do... I can't remember if they did the previews before or after, but at some point, the lights would dim and one of the theater workers would go stand in front of the stage... or in front of the screen and like introduce the movie and just be like, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. You're about to see this movie. Enjoy. It's a good one. And I wish that every theater had that.
Did they ever do like a little? You had like a little wannabe stand-up comedian up there trying out different jokes.
I remember there was one guy he always had some type of bit that he was working.
Was it like the same one that you could tell? He's like, he
Yep.
he likes this
He
one,
had
so
his
he uses
routine.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that.
That's kind of
about
fun.
that.
Yeah. Takes itself seriously.
Yep. You ready for my topic?
Ready.
Okay. Without further ado,
With a little bit of further ado.
Josiah, today I'm going to be talking about world building. Do you know what that is?
That's one thing that's written on my list of. Yeah,
Is it?
Yeah.
Have you
Okay. I'm
researched
excited.
it?
No.
Okay.
No. I have it written down though.
I just recently learned about it, and I read it somewhere. I don't remember. I was reading some article about some book or movie, and it was like the world building in this was great, and I was like, "That's the coolest word or phrase I've ever heard in my life."
Oh, I know what it is. You just like learned what it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
connected.
Yeah.
You knew what the idea was, but you connected the word with the
I
idea.
put 2 and 2 together, but I was like, world building. That's a phrase if I've ever heard
I
one.
could talk about this.
Yeah, so I started looking it up. Pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
If you don't know what world building is, it's for stories.
Yeah.
Okay? It's not the plot. It's not the characters. It's not really even the setting. Maybe a little bit the setting, but it's the entire world that's created around a fictional story.
Yes.
So when writers start their stories, they do what's called world building. And makes me want to be a writer because it just sounds like a lot of fun.
Okay.
So there's some different aspects of world building. Okay, we've got the physical, and this is for fiction specifically.
Okay.
So anything goes, which is fun.
Yeah.
You can go on the sci-fi side and make everything crazy and whatever you want, or it can be almost like our world, just with little tweaks here and there. Anything goes. So you've got the physical. You've got the physical includes stuff like what does the actual world look like. So if they're on Earth, we already know. But say you're on Flablamadon, a different planet.
Sounds like a dinosaur.
And the Flablamadon. And maybe it's a cube.
Yeah.
And so then next, so you've got what the world looks like. Then you've got kind of how it behaves. Different things like how many moons are there.
How physics works.
Exactly. The basic stuff. And then you've got the physical. You've got the metaphysical, which sounds super hippie and weird. But basically it's just saying like, what's extra that our world does not have?
Okay.
So say there's magic. So there's sorcery.
Yeah.
And you can shoot rainbows from your fingertips and they electrocute the people they hit or something. That
Okay.
is metaphysical. So it's the elements that take the reader from the world that they know, which is this world, into a completely unknown world. And so world building is that you have to think about all of these things before you start your story to be able to put it all together. But it's fun because you can be entirely creative. It can be literally whatever you want it to be. And that is what entices me. So metaphysical includes magic, if people have powers, if there's unnatural behaviors. Like I would say, to take it back to Fast and Furious, I would say there was some metaphysical aspects of that world because in the latest movie, because physics did not behave properly.
They don't care.
Yeah, nothing made sense in that movie.
Gotcha.
But they built a world where it didn't matter, and everyone watching didn't care.
Yeah,
they were like, "This is the world."
That's not why you're there.
Yep.
You're not there to critique the physics and
Exactly.
You're there for just chaos.
And then you've got physical, you've got metaphysical, and then lastly you've got socio-political.
Interesting. That's more along the lines of like Hunger Games, Divergent type of stuff, like how people behave.
Yep. So you're in socio-political, you're defining what the society is like.
Okay.
How do they behave? What's the culture like? Are there different cultures? Are there different groups of people? Are there specific routines? What are the social dynamics? Like you can talk about, is it a more masculine style world, a more feminine style world? Are the rulers massively above the poor people, or is everyone kind of similar? What are we looking at there? And then you've got like status. Are there people that are more important than other people? Stuff. Basically, you have to define how your entire world looks, how it behaves, and then what the people are like. Okay, you tracking still?
The three things.
Those
how
are
it looks, how it behaves, how the people are.
Yep.
Is a physical, metaphysical, socioeconomic.
If
Something?
Socio-political.
Political. Probably that too.
I don't love that word because it seems like
pretentious.
flimsy.
Oh.
Like it sounds serious and cool, but there is not actually anything there. It's just fluff.
So a little pretentious.
Yeah. Let's just settle with what the
good.
people are like.
Okay. I might mix and match.
Okay, sounds good. You know what? You do what you feel like you need to do.
Thank you.
Let's talk about some examples, and then we'll talk about the two methods for going about it.
Okay.
Sound good?
Yeah. Love it.
Okay. I picked just the ones that popped into my head, and these are the same ones I imagine that would pop into your head.
Okay.
So first, the one that's most important that can't not be discussed when it comes to world building is
Avatar, Lord of the Rings, Star Wars.
I didn't put
One
Star
of
Wars,
those?
but that's a good one. I put Avatar and Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So let's do Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
So, Lord of the Rings, there was a map drawn out. J.K. Rowling, or is it J.R. Tolkien? I get them mixed up.
Rowling is Potter.
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 We'll talk about Potter in a bit.
Okay.
Tolkien.
Yes.
Tolkien made a map. He drew out a map of what his world.
What Middle Earth looks like.
And in this map, so he's first defining the physical. So he's got the geography of it.
Gotcha.
There's mountains, there's plains, valleys, cliffs, whatever Mordor would be, like volcanoes.
Yeah. What's that thing with the thing that comes out of the thing?
Then you've got like the beautiful riverside. You've got all this stuff.
Shire.
The Shire, yeah.
The Black Woods.
The Black.
Is that a thing? Oh, Mirkwood, maybe. It's called Mirkwood.
Yeah, okay. So here's some places I remember just off the top of my head. We've got the Shire, of course.
Yeah.
Hobbits. What their place looks like geographically looks massively different than anywhere else. You've got Isengard, Mordor, Gondor, Ronin, Rivendell. I forgot the name
Lake Town?
Lake Town, that's a good one. I forgot the name of where Gimli's cousin ruled, or his uncle. You know the mountains.
Oh, the Mines of Moria.
Yeah. I have no memory of this place. Balrog, run.
Run, you fool. Fly, you fly. Fly, fly, you fool.
I don't know why I did that.
All that to say, each place has its own structure, and then we can break that down. Each place has its own culture.
Yeah.
This is why Lord of the Rings is worth mentioning.
They've got
because,
like different architecture for each place too.
Yeah, he created architecture for each place. It's all defined.
Which fits within the geography, like what's the most practical for that place. That's pretty cool.
And the cultures are also fitting of the place that they live too.
Yeah.
It's all very intricately done. This is, I think, probably the best example of world building that I could think of.
Yeah.
Other sites that I read about mentioned Game of Thrones, but I didn't feel like diving into that enough to really understand how good it was.
Yeah.
But I've heard the world building in that is good too.
Okay.
To the point where the culture, or the different types of people, a lot of them had their own language. So they had the Elvish language, that kind of thing. What is Gandalf called? The type of writing on the ring? The language of Mordor, or something like that.
I don't know. This is like a Lord of the Rings trivia, and I like it, but I'm not very good at it.
It's an ancient tongue, haven't been spoken in many. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah. Let's move on.
We need an expert in here.
Well, let's not move on. All of them have their own social dynamic. Like their societies are a little different. They all have their strengths and their weaknesses. And my favorite part of Lord of the Rings is that they all have their backstory that kind of ties everything together into why each culture, each type of people, and even each civilization is the way it is.
And how they interact with the others.
Yep.
That's very interesting too.
It's all what blows me away, and this is why I love this concept so much, is that before you write the story of Lord of the Rings, you have to have all of these things figured out, because the story is tied so closely with the whole world that you have to put in the work and get the details of all this. Very cool. I have a lot of appreciation for people that are good at this now.
Yeah.
Also, Avatar, pretty good one. James Cameron apparently created reference books. I mean, we know he made a language for it. He made reference books as well on Pandora, which is the world that he built for this situation, for this movie. He made reference books about the vegetation, multiple reference books about the climate. And multiple reference books about botany as well.
There's so much. I've looked into this a little bit. There's so much.
It's wild.
For Avatar. And I think part of it is they were planning on making it massive. And I think that's part of why they made a massive, like, Pandora in Disney World. They spent millions and millions and millions on that.
Because it's going to be huge.
Because there is so much world building. And you would see... I went there this spring, and I was pretty blown away. Just at all the plants and everything. Yeah. And I went there knowing how much world building they had done. And every strange plant, I was like, I guarantee there's a scientific name for that plant. Yep. And some like herbal use for it. Yep. It's crazy.
Crazy the depths that this guy went to create this world.
Yeah. And he hired a bunch of people to work on it too.
To help it. Yeah. It's just like basically this is just a appreciation topic for the people that are good at this type of thing. Okay. I also put Avatar, the Last Airbender version. Some decent world building in there. If you've watched those.
I've only watched part of a season.
That's all right. Hunger Games is a great one to mention in regards to, I'll just say it, socio-political, that aspect of it. The history of how the country fell apart and then how it was rebuilt, and the social dynamic, who's in charge, why the Hunger Games happened, all very well considered. Which leads me to something that might not make people super happy. Harry Potter.
Harry Potter.
Harry.
Hey.
This is the example I'm going to use as bad world building.
Oh. Yeah. Stepping on some toes.
Because it's not so great. And if you look it up, there's actually a lot of like Reddit posts about all the issues and stuff.
Oh, really?
But if you think about it, a lot of things don't I mean, the series is still great because
Sure.
the story, the character arcs, the characters, plot development, all of that is fantastic.
Because you read these every year, right?
Yeah, I read them a lot.
So to be fair, you still like it a lot.
I'm a fan.
Okay.
Yes, and I can get past the world building.
Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, if you're a diehard Harry Potter guy, just know I'm there with you. But we have to acknowledge some things that don't make sense. The logistics of the world don't make any sense. For example, how no wizard has any idea how they're supposed to dress when it comes to dressing like the normal people. Nobody knew how they were supposed to dress. And that doesn't make any sense to me because the books mention quite a few times how they were always out in the public working with humans and stuff. So, like, how do you not know?
Or at least learn that. Have people,
Yeah.
teach you.
Another thing is who would let the kids be placed in such dangerous situations. Like the school for children had quite a few life-ending things that could happen to kids.
Well, one life-ending thing each.
Yeah, each book. And
Without spoilers.
yeah,
We
exactly.
won't. I'm very anti-spoiler, so we'll just keep it at that.
And like there's a whole forbidden forest right next to the school that is
Nobody
too
cares.
dangerous. Kids are banned from it because there's so many things in there that could kill a child. Until you get in trouble and you get detention, then you get sent directly to the forbidden forest where everything can kill you.
But with a guy who may or may not know what he's doing.
Yeah, but you're also a child. To me, it's
That's
the
true.
equivalent of like, all right, did you forget to turn in your paper? That tears it. You're going to war with a veteran. Like,
That's
it's the
fair.
same kind of concept.
Who knows what's out there?
Here's one I didn't realize, but it's kind of funny. So, if you know the stories, there's a guy named Ollivander. He's the guy who sells wands. He sells one wand per person, unless you break your wand or lose it or something. But for the most part, you sell one wand per person. Now, we know the general size of the school, and we know that he's the only one who supplies most of the area.
Okay.
So we can conclude from that he sells about 40 wands a year, almost all right before school starts, selling them to like kindergartners, right?
Oh,
We know that the wands are about 7 galleons each, which equates to 5 pounds, English pounds, which equates to about $6.56 in American currency.
650.
Yeah, which means that per year, Ollivander makes $260.
Maybe that's his like passion project.
Maybe.
Maybe he's like
He has
for
something on
money
this.
laundering or something.
But we also know that you cannot make food with magic. They've made that clear in the books.
Really?
And the typical meal in London costs $20. So the issue here is that
He's doing something illegal.
he's either
No, he has a side job. He has to.
he's either got a side hustle that the books decide not to mention, or he's extremely poor and in like dire circumstances.
Yeah.
Or he's just a horrible thief, a horrible no good food stealer.
Maybe he's so beloved by the community that they just
They
provide.
just give him food.
So wait, you're saying a wand is $650?
Yeah, pretty cheap.
That's not. I was expecting like a couple hundred.
Not a bad deal. It's for something that you only get once in your entire life. I would have
650?
guessed that
Yeah.
we're looking at some type of student loan to get that bad boy.
You know what? He's just a bad businessman.
Yeah, but I think he could
Is he?
up his game significantly, especially since he's one of 2 wand makers. Like one of 2 known wand makers.
Yeah. Yeah. He needs to go to school.
Yeah, so there's an
Back
issue
to
there.
school for him.
Speaking of school and education, the reason he's so bad is because Hogwarts doesn't teach math, English, finances, biology, physics, or Latin, which is the root of the magic.
All the spells.
All the spells that they use.
That might be helpful.
Yeah, if they would just teach some core Latin and people could start coming up with stuff.
Okay. This is all crumbling down.
Yeah. There's also some other stuff like the killing curse, which is said to be unbreakable. you'd think people would be working on that. Like if it was such a prevalent thing in the
Oh.
world, you'd think there would have been a group of people workshopping that.
Yeah.
Finding a way around that.
Some kind of Illuminati, maybe?
Yeah.
Wizard Illuminati?
So I know I lost some friends there, but and I'm still a fan.
No, you're just saying facts.
Yeah, I'm still a fan of it. Just there's some very real issues that have to be
They need to be
mentioned.
addressed.
Yeah. Also,
As a culture.
Also, if Voldemort is so scary, why is the rest of the world not helping out? Like, there's wizards in America. Why are they not bopping over?
They're a little prideful.
Yeah,
The British.
apparently. Voldemort was not scary enough to be World War III inducing.
Like, how bad can he be?
He didn't even start a world war. Anyway, my topic is not Harry Potter. That was important to me.
Just a quick bash fest.
We needed a good example of bad world building.
Yeah.
So, to finish off my topic, you wanna try it? You wanna do it?
Build a world?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Just the two of us?
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna get my keyboard out. We're gonna type some of this stuff out.
Okay.
Make sure that's working. Okay. So, I've got it broken down into steps.
Okay.
Well,
I like that. Manageable.
let me real
Bite
fast. We've got two methods.
Okay.
Forgot to mention there's the inside out method, which is when you create a story and then you create a world after the story that matches the story,
Okay.
makes the story make sense. We can't focus on that because we don't have a story. So
Okay.
we're going to do the outside in method, which is when you create a whole world and then afterwards you create a story that fits the world
Outside in.
or
Okay.
is caused by the world.
Okay.
So, does that sound good?
I'm ready.
Cool. So step one, let's and we're gonna rapid fire this because we don't have a ton of time, but let's define the world. So first off, yeah, step one is define the world. So first, let's do geography. What do you want the world to look like? It can be anything.
I just love the idea of a massive island full of lots of different types of
Okay.
geographical. Like you got lots of mountains, you got
Okay.
beach and ocean, all
Beach.
that.
Ocean,
Okay.
mountains.
Here. How about this? It's an island.
Okay.
A very mountainous island.
Okay.
The whole thing is basically mountains, but it's completely surrounded by ocean.
Okay.
So you got beach all around the perimeter. The farther you go inland, the higher you get, up until
Okay.
it's so high that there's always snow on the peaks, way at the
Okay.
top and the middle.
So the elevation of this mountain.
Massive.
Okay. Peak in middle of island.
Decently large island, though.
Always snow, large island. Do we want to go past that? Do we want to mention the rest of the world, or is this it? This is our island.
I think that's kind of the base where you have. Oh, we won't get to that yet.
Yeah. Don't get.
I'm running with this.
This is hard. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I think we've got the classic beachy things: palm trees, coconuts,
Okay.
a statue of Jack the Baboon, welcoming visitors. No, don't put that.
No.
We have oh, it's staying. We beachy things, but then the higher up you go, switches to
more mountainous.
mountainous,
Okay.
less green.
Do we like the general physics of this world? Like, do we want? Is there one sun? Or is it an Earth type environment? Or are we switching things up?
I think so, but let's have gravity be half.
Okay. Interesting.
So you got people that can run a little fat. Wait,
Can't run faster, but you can sure jump higher.
no, regular gravity.
Okay.
No, we can't get to that yet.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
I'm happy with this. Let's-
Okay, so it's an Earth environment, but we're focused on a specific island
Yes.
that we've just built.
huge
Huge.
14,000 footers.
Do you want to name it, or should we leave it?
Let's leave that.
Okay.
Maybe we can come back to that.
Cool. We talked about the terrain. Has it always been like this island, or did something happen to cause this island?
It's always been like this since the beginning of time.
Always been since the beginning of
And
since the beginning of what we know.
yes.
Always been like this. So there was not some massive event that caused
No,
this.
very strong. It can take a beating from a hurricane, no
Cool.
problem.
Perfect. All right. Climate. Let's talk about the weather. I'm assuming you want kind of beachy, warm,
Yeah. Down at the
tropical
bottom. Yep.
down, and then more
More
Arctic situation up top.
Harsher up there. Yeah.
Harsher. Okay.
Yep.
Gonna say tropic down low, harsh up top. Does the climate impact the story at all? This can just be a yes or no.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm already thinking ahead.
Good.
I'm thinking ahead. I got
Perfect.
ideas.
Okay, let's move. Well, still step one, last step here. Resources. Are there natural resources? Is there a lack of resources?
A little bit of a lack of resource.
Okay. Anything specific?
There's not a lot of agricultural land.
Not much okay.
So not much food. I mean, you got lots of seafood, of course.
Except seafood, okay.
You got an algae farm, of course.
Algae farms.
Doing
Love
some of that.
that.
But it's a lot of beach and mountain, so you don't have lots of land.
Awesome. All right, climate. We just talked about that. I already.
Climate is what we just talked about.
Yeah,
so keep that the same.
Sounds good. All right, on to step 2. What do you say we populate our world?
Ready.
Are people inherently different than us? So are they humans?
Yes. Yes, but they're all
But, okay.
fast and big. Average height, 8 feet. Twice as fast as a human.
Okay, so everyone on the whole island is like this?
The average person, yes.
Okay.
No. The people who live in the mountains, up in the mountains, those people are large. The people who live down at sea level, regular human size.
Okay. See how fast our world comes together?
And this happens because the higher up in the mountains you go, something happens that makes those people more powerful.
Oh, okay. We're leaking into the next step.
Every time I stop myself, it's because I'm trying not to leak into the next step.
Okay, so we're gonna assume they're human-like, but they've got some differences than us because of something being caused by certain parts of the island that we will discuss soon.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. What's the population?
Million.
Okay. So this is a big island, lots of people.
Big island, but small enough that it's pretty crowded.
Okay. Million people.
Especially at sea level.
Pretty crowded. Would you say it's overcrowded at sea level?
No.
Okay.
People are happy.
I mean, they've got the food. How did these people become part of our world? Is there a backstory there, or are they just the people of the island?
They came there. There's always been conflict. And so
Always.
these people are currently the ones in power. And they have been for a long time.
These people. So are we talking the mountain
They
and
got
the sea
there.
people are all one?
One people. Okay, just let me get to the next part.
Mountain people, sea people, all one society.
Yeah,
How's that?
yeah.
So they're not like different borders. We can set up borders if you would like.
I've got an idea about that.
Okay, we'll get to it in a minute. Is there a class system or
Yes.
some people?
Yes.
Okay.
This is what I want to talk about.
Oh boy.
Up high at the mountain, obviously you got the most powerful people.
Up high.
Those are the ones that take control. They're up high. You got the people at sea level. Those are your lower class,
Okay.
large power struggle, big difference in class.
So same society, but there's a big gap between the powerful and the non-powerful.
Yes.
And there's a power struggle there. So some group of people are trying to change that.
Yes.
Isn't this interesting how fast a story it just
I've like come up with this like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah, based off of just answering specific questions.
These are good questions.
Okay, let's talk about, without getting too crazy here for obvious reasons, gender, race, and species. Any differences?
Mostly humanoid, except for the fact that you get super powerful when the thing happens. Maybe elevation, maybe some plant that's only found way up high.
Okay, we'll get there.
Something that only you can get up there,
Sounds good.
but mostly humanoid.
Okay, do they get along? No. Are there alliances? We're gonna say.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait.
No. you
Yes.
answer. Yeah.
Yes. There's a couple different schools of thought or at sea level about do we need to take over? Do we just need to let them take charge? Do we need to do something about it? Do we just sit back and do our own thing?
Okay, so at sea level, there's different groups of people who believe differently about what action should be taken.
Yeah.
In the power struggle.
Exactly.
Great. What resources, since we're kind of separating between mountain and sea, what resources do they enjoy and what do they lack?
They don't have a ton of they've got some fruits, not a ton of veggies.
Okay. So can we talk about malnourishment maybe?
It's seafood heavy. No, there's plenty of trade.
Okay.
Everybody wait.
Should we just say resources are fine all across the board? Okay, sounds good. Are there borders? Do you want borders?
Natural border. Everybody on the coast is it's one big city all around the coast.
On the coast
And there's like
equals one big
there's kind of a border put there as you go up the mountains. Some protection.
border up the mountains. Okay, sounds good. Let's get into the history. So when you talk about history, you can get as detailed or as vague as you want. Like Lord of the Rings is the history there is an ancient war. Hunger Games, the history is decades of oppression. Talking about big power shifts. Who are the enemies of the island, that kind of thing. Anything you'd like to mention there?
Big power struggle from the surrounding islands.
Okay, so there's surrounding islands.
Yeah.
We just expanded our world a little bit.
Oh, of course. There's surrounding islands with different. Well, there's one island that has lots of agricultural land, large island, farming island. So you got lots of different trade happening between the islands.
Okay.
They're all mostly friendly,
Except
this one is mostly meanies. The people at the top are in control. They control the trade, and they kind of have a little bit of say among all these islands.
Okay. So the mountain people are really powerful over this whole selection of islands, and there's a power
Yes.
struggle within that.
Part of me is like, as we go, I'm like, does this make sense? Am I
think
just
so.
copying other movies? Because I think of other movies that this is like similar. Like there's a power struggle over some natural resource.
I mean,
Avatar.
that's a pretty standard
Yeah.
plot device. I think it's okay.
Yeah. Black Panther.
You good there?
Sure.
Okay. Let's move on to culture.
Okay.
Again, we'll tread a little lightly here, but any religious
lightly.
things here, any main belief systems from people that have created traditions or rituals.
Very diverse.
Okay.
Typically among the islands, different.
Each
different
island
beliefs.
kind of has a different.
Belief system.
Okay, sounds good.
But they're still mostly friendly. Mostly.
Okay. Still mostly friends. So there's just like a mild dislike a lot of times.
Well, it's like you have your stereotypes of different islands, like, oh, these people eat a lot.
Yeah.
These people are so lazy.
Okay.
Your classic, I don't know.
Society, common language. Is everyone speaking the
Same
same
language. Same
Okay,
language.
Good.
Yep.
Makes that easy.
Yeah.
How do our characters behave? Anything of note you want to mention there?
They all have their own cultures, subcultures within these islands, but they all are in agreement about how they don't like these mountain people.
Okay.
So they're mostly friendly. I don't know.
Okay.
They're just normal people.
We'll go with that.
Some nice people, some mean people, everything
you
in between.
You mentioned this already. A society opposed to them, I'd say for the most part, it seems like society is unhappy with the mountain people.
Yeah.
Are the rules that the mountain people impose, would you say they're fair? Or are they oppressing?
They kind of have been.
They've been fair?
And it's almost to a tipping. No, they kind of have been
Oppressive.
more and more so, and it's kind of getting to a tipping point.
Okay. That's good. How do you spell oppressive?
Tipping point, Tipping.
At tipping point. Thanks for spelling that
Yeah.
out. I was confused.
Yeah. It's a hard one.
Anything necessary to know about the punishment system? Are they harsh?
Yes. If you make them mad, you best move to another island.
Got it.
Where
Should
away
I say
from
banishment?
Well, the people on the mountain island are mostly oppressed.
Mountain island. Oppressed. Okay. Social classes, we talked about that. Anything to note about what they wear? I would assume it matches in general to the geography.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever's most practical for your characteristics of your island.
Nice. Anything important about family, relationship dynamics, marriage?
Just depends on the culture.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
And one thing to note, if we were to be doing this in a longer period, we would have to answer all these questions for each culture that we create in our world.
Oh, that's fine.
But we're going to skip it for now.
Yeah. It exists. I just don't want to talk about it.
For sure.
I've thought about it, all this.
Yeah. Naturally. Are there any behaviors that are forbidden?
Yes. Here's what I would say are the behaviors that are forbidden is that you are not allowed to conduct trade that's not approved by the mountain folks.
Okay.
Folks. They completely control trade. Everything goes through them.
Okay.
You're not allowed to go up the mountain.
Ooh, interesting.
You're not allowed to I don't know. I'm trying to like half make what would be a good story. I don't know. Let's keep it.
We can
Let's
keep it there.
They require some level of respect, whether it's fake or not. Like,
Okay.
You can't badmouth them
Got it.
because there's secret spies and police.
So no freedom of speech really here.
Not so much
Okay.
when it comes to the mountain people, and trade is all completely controlled by them.
Okay, sounds good. Politics, anything you want to know? It seems like it's a little totalitarian, authoritarian.
Just a bit, but they want people to think they're not.
Okay. Okay, nice. Let's move on to the fifth step here, which is power. So this is a step you can skip if the world is generally earthly. But this step would include stuff like magic. Is there AI or technology? Do we have time travel? So you mentioned there's something mysterious happening above the mountain. This is where we would discuss that.
You know, it has to do with the elevation, it turns out.
So extra power at elevation.
Once you hit 10,000 feet,
Okay.
this is a massive mountain.
That's a trek. And you're not allowed to go up the mountain.
No, you'll get phased. No, you'll get spear to the leg.
Oh boy.
Spear
Okay,
to the
so
leg. Maybe you'll get a shock bomb
Yeah.
to the back.
maybe it's one of the two, a spear to the leg or a shock bomb.
You might get
So these,
a golden bullet right to the hand.
so you just took the general time period in three very different directions.
No,
You might get speared or a shock bomb.
it's a modern spear.
Okay.
There's lots of tech, I've just decided.
Lots of
And
tech.
by that, I mean, has been around for a long time.
So would you say this is a little dystopian, or this tech is still being developed?
It's very colorful. I think of dystopian as being gray. There's lots of colors.
Well, is
Except on the mountain.
Is this tech something that they can continue to develop, or was it some past society?
Only the mountain people have access to the tech.
Okay.
But the people surrounding have taken it, repurposed it, used it on their own. So
Got
you'll
it.
see it here and there recycled.
Can recycle. Oh, for sure. Makes sense.
Yeah.
And then is this tech powered by the weird elevation power, or is it something different?
It's powered by friendship. It's not powered by friendship.
No.
It is powered.
That's the worst.
It's powered by. It's nuclear powered.
Oh, okay. So plain and simple. Nuclear.
They've perfected nuclear power, and so that it can be small.
Okay. Perfected. Nice. So this is futuristic then. Pretty cool. Futuristic with spheres as well.
Just wait till you see these spears.
I'm gonna go ahead and say, well, let's see. Anything else? Where does the power come from? You mentioned that. Who can wield it? You mentioned that. Can it be learned or is it innate in certain people? We mentioned that a little bit. Do people fear the tech, or is it kind of embraced?
It's a little fearful. They're a little fearful because if you get caught with it from the mountain people, you get in big trouble. So it's kind of like an underground market, a black market. And but they embrace it. They take it apart, try and reverse engineer it to make their own stuff.
Sounds good. Still embrace it. Okay. And I'm assuming we do not have the resources at the sea to create this tech.
No.
Only in the mountain.
Yes. Yes.
You can. You can.
You cannot.
Okay.
Except on the mountain.
Got it. So the mountain people control it. Where does it come from? From the mountain. Okay. So here's what we've done, Josiah. We've defined a world geographically. Big island, very mountainous, tall 14,000 foot cliffs. The higher you go, the more mysterious things happen, causing the people there at a certain population to be different in physical nature to the people lower.
Brain power too, also.
Brain power. Okay, so also good to know.
And wisdom power, but not moral power.
Got it. Got it. Sounds good.
I like wisdom
Not
power,
moral power.
but yes, wisdom power.
Okay, so there's a general power struggle between the mountain people and the sea people on the island. There's also a weird power struggle between the other islands.
Just some conflict.
Not a power struggle.
Who's the best? Who is more powerful?
Correct.
Yeah.
When there's some
Just
religious, cultural differences there.
Some turbulence.
Yeah, there's some turbulence. But in general, they all agree with one thing, that the mountain people
Oppressive.
are oppressive and not to be enjoyed.
No.
Yeah, okay. And there's weird power happening at a certain elevation in which they are not allowed to go.
You may not go.
Yeah, it's forbidden. And
It's forbidden.
It's forbidden. And there's also lots of tech, only with the mountain people, except some black market trade where some people have gained access and are
Yep.
not allowed to be caught with it.
Yep.
I miss anything? Seems like we caught.
That is the basics of this world that has been around for a long time.
Okay.
I should have just described a planet on Star Wars or something.
Not had to do nearly as much work. Okay, do we want to name the island?
What was the thing you said at the beginning? Plarkodon?
Oh, you name it.
No, that sounds too much like a dinosaur.
Okay.
Okay, we're gonna go Latin.
Okay.
Mont. I don't know if that's Latin. Mont for mountain. Sea. Depths. Mont sea. No.
Okay, we're getting closer.
Montion. No. That's a mix between mountain and ocean. Salt. Malta. No. that's a real place.
That exists.
We're going to call it the United States of America. We're not going to call it that. No. Give me a look. We're not going to call it that.
No, Josiah, no.
You're ruining this for me right now. We're going to call it I can't. Okay.
I really like that this is what you're struggling with the most.
The name it has to be perfect. Has to flow off the tongue.
You can blurt out some syllables if you want.
Montas.
Okay.
Good luck spelling that. That's your choice.
I'm just going to do an A with some sort of... Oh, A's don't have... We're going to say Montas. Okay, I spelled it Montaus. We
Montas.
happy with that?
I'm so happy with that.
Montas.
I'm so content.
Cool. We don't have time to name all the individual groups. Josiah, you, sir, have just become a world builder.
Yes.
was pretty fun.
I did it.
Like you created something that's kind of cool, just based off of a few very simple steps.
They're good questions.
And and it's something that could be applied. There's some very simple stories that can be derived from this pretty simply.
Oh yeah,
I
take
think.
any character,
Yeah.
make them a leader, take the people together, make them rise up.
Yeah.
You could take an outside hero. You could take an alien
Okay.
from the deep,
from the depths.
comes out a secondary villain.
Okay.
They have to work together to defeat their common enemy, fish aliens.
Perfect. Or the main character could be a mountain person that has to be accepted. He's banished from the mountain.
Oh, he works. He's been on the inside.
Yeah, so he knows what it is, and they're trying to kill him because he escaped. Or it could be about a sea person who is trying to break past the 10,000-foot elevation for his people and his family.
Uh-huh.
There's any number of directions.
You know what? I like the one where the mountain person gets banished. It's set up as the mountain people are evil, and the sea people are just trying to go on living, and they want freedom and everything. But the mountain person, they're not going to understand him. He's a mountain person. He's massive.
Exactly.
And so it's just about him trying to escape them. That's kind of interesting.
Ooh.
Like who's right, who's wrong.
We don't know.
We will find out at the end.
Character
Do we
arcs are already set up.
Wow.
Okay, Josiah, that was my topic. I took you from knowing very little to creating a whole world, and we're at the base of a new story.
Do you want to keep this story? You know what? Let's just not release this episode, and then we can keep this story to ourselves.
Yes, they will never have it. Well, here's my proposal. If you remember back to before we hit record on this podcast, I left out a key detail that we usually discuss before the podcast starts.
Yeah.
And
I thought about that afterwards.
what did we not discuss?
What the punishment will be for the loser.
Here's my proposal. The loser has to write the story. It can be a short story. I don't know how many pages you're thinking.
Okay, like 200? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we'll keep it, I'd say, novel length.
Short story. Okay. Okay.
So if you lose the episode, you have to take the world that we built and write an actual story from it to be published and made available for the listeners of the podcast.
Okay. Readable. Okay.
Are there
Interesting.
any specifics we need, like page limit or page minimum?
It has to be good.
Okay.
Well, as good as you're gonna do. Like you can't just rush through it. You got to spend some time on it.
Oh, for sure.
And when you do it, you have to. I don't know. I don't want to set a page minimum.
Yeah. Let's just say you
something
have to
good.
write the story,
Sure.
and whatever comes out is okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
And the next episode can include a reading of a portion of it,
Okay.
some of it.
Yeah.
Give the wet the whistle for people a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I like it. Okay.
Then we can make the whole thing available and go from there.
And then we'll make a movie out of it.
Yeah.
And then maybe a spin-off show.
Yeah. With
and-
one of the side characters.
Yeah, and who knows what else. So
I'm in contact with Disneyland about a possible section of their
Park?
property.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know they've got lots.
Yeah,
Or at
they've
least
got
Disney World does. So
They've got so much. We should be fine.
yeah, they've got money. They don't need our money, so they
Yeah.
can just take it and run with it.
So we should be good.
That's what I say.
Okay. 30 seconds. Also, we made it through a whole episode without the goof bowl.
I'm impressed.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
30 seconds. Why do people vote for you?
People vote for me because I gave you a nice little story about a dynamic duo, Jack and Jumper, an unlikely friendship born from. I was going to say like need, but that doesn't sound like a good thing. The friendship is formed from a dynamic duo, Jack and Jumper, a friendship that was formed,
Okay.
and that's it.
And-
nice story.
Nice.
You gotta love it. Big fan
So
of
simple.
a double amputee named Jumper. Also,
Yeah, that's pretty good. Hard to beat a good double amputee named Jumper. And I think you should vote for me because Josiah told a story. We created one. And I think that's pretty glorious.
Josiah told a story, and then Josiah created one. So
From the direct guidance.
Josiah created one. No, you know what? Josiah told a story, and then Josiah created a world, but did not tell a story.
That's true.
Vote for me, please. I can't lose.
Vote.
Okay.
Okay.
We got it. Everybody.
You're going the pity route, huh?
No, I'm just saying. Caleb needs to write this. I think he would be.
Oh,
He would do a great job of writing this,
You're gonna go that direction.
and I think I would love to hear what he comes up with. I did my half. I think it's fair that he does his half, and in the name of fairness, and he's a much better storyteller than I am. So
I disagree.
vote for me to win. He can write the story.
Vote for me to win so that we can prove to Josiah that he too is a great storyteller.
This is like becoming very wholesome.
No, you're good at telling.
You're a better storyteller.
You're good at it, though.
Okay,
You want to wrap this one up?
let's do it.
Okay. This is a good episode.
Yeah, happy.
Happy.
Too many word, less word. Josiah happy. Josiah content.
Okay, so it seems like you should definitely be writing the story. If it's all in that format.
No.
No.
Few word. Josiah. Write small story. Listener want long story. Caleb.
Okay, well, Josiah has resorted to Kevin speak from The Office, so Larry, why don't you play us out?